So good afternoon. And officially, it's my opportunity to welcome you to Kindness Week. I'm not here today to talk to you about anything earth-shattering. This isn't something new. This isn't groundbreaking stuff, to be honest with you. It's not unheard of. Yet kindness has the ability and power to change a lot. When I arrived here at the school and had the wonderful opportunity to join this school culture, this school community, I sat with a bunch of staff the days before I met any of you. We were talking about school culture. And that was the general theme. All the staff were talking about what can we do to improve the school culture around here? What can we do to improve the lives of the kids that come here each and every day? And this was simple for me. It's all about being kind. It's difficult to articulate and put into words what kindness means, to be honest with you, but I don't have to teach it to you. You guys are all high schoolers. We have 7 sophomores and seniors in here. You don't need to define it. I don't have to talk about compassion, what that means, what understanding is. We all have that. We all know what that is. That was taught to us from a young age. But my goal today is to change your perspective on things, just a little bit. The way that we look at things, the way that we look at the world, the way that we look at each other, the guy or the gal sitting next to you, to the left or your right. I'm just here to shift your mindset a little bit. I'm going to explain to you how I found kindness in one of the most unexpected places in the world. So if you give me a few minutes of your attention, I'll tell you about my story. How many people have heard of One Boston Day? Anybody? April 15th, every year, from now until eternity, will be One Boston Day in Boston. But I'm going to start back at the beginning where it all began for me. So I'm going to take you on a little trip. I'm going to tell you about 12 Orchard Street, Peabody, Massachusetts. Any Peabody residents in the house? Yes. This might be. Okay. This is going to take you back to approximately the summer of 1984. A long time ago. I'm getting old, people. I'm getting old and feeling, okay? And here we are. That sharp little devil on the left-hand side, this guy. And as you can see, my goal when I was 5 years old was to be standing in front of you as a police officer. And look at those cowboy boots. Kidding me? That's my big brother on the right, Brad. He's 2.5 years old, a senior. That's the neighbor's dog. We didn't have one. My mom was in attendance, we didn't have one, so we stole the neighbor's dog for the photo. But I'll tell you what, when I was 5, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I was raised by a dad who was on the job, police officer in Danvers, retired, went to Wolf Park, was on the job for over 40 years. He's still working in law enforcement. My mom was a nurse, still is. I was raised by 2 people that were helpers. And that instilled a lot in me when I was little, helpers help, what we do. I ended up at the North Shore Academy with dreams of still getting out of the police department. Some things got in my way. After 30 ACL surgery, I ended up on a drug called Coumadin. I threw blood clots to both lungs. I was in the hospital for about 9 days. It was a really bad situation. And being on that medication, we didn't know at the time, would keep me off this job. Coumadin's a drug that thins your blood. It put me at risk to be doing the job you have to do as a police officer. I was fortunate that I found myself in the field of education working at the North Shore Academy in Belleville. This was an alternative high school. We serviced about 120 kids from all the same communities you guys come from. And it was kids that struggled with social, emotional, behavioral disabilities. A bunch of good kids that taught me a lot about life and a lot about working with kids. So I started there in 2001, September 11th. I was sitting in the classroom, and we watched the second plane hit the Twin Towers. I stayed there for the next 15 years, learning so much about what it's like to work with kids. The other good thing about being in a school atmosphere, as all the adults in this room will teach you, is the schedule. What are we doing next week? April vacation. Every April, we get that week off. It's awesome. Days are getting longer, there's more sunlight, the weather's turning, we get flowers on the trees, everything's starting to happen. Right? But with that, also around here, in this area, we have Patriots Day. Patriots Day is the first Monday of April vacation every single year. So what do we do on Patriots Day in Boston? There's a couple of things going on. I've done both for about 15 years. We go in, we head into Boston, we go to Fenway Park for the early day game. Right? We all sit down, put it on TV, you get your chance, you get to Fenway, you go watch the Sox play. Shameless play on the left, that's my beautiful daughter with a peace sign, and my nephew next to her. They love the park as well. It's something we've instilled in them since they were young. We just took them for a tour last summer, and they're hooked. The other thing is this crazy race. Boston Marathon. It's nuts. People train for this for an entire year, sometimes more, right? 35,000, 36,000 people ran this race last year. Does anybody know how long the race is? 26.2 miles. Look at that. It starts in Hopkinton, Mass. Travels all the way back up to Boylston Street in Boston downtown, right by the public library. That's where it finishes. These crazy individuals train. Not only do they train, but they train in Boston. So what's before Boston Marathon? The awful winter. You got people running in snow, sleet, and rain, 6 degrees, 25 below with a wind chill. They're out there in their shorts, and those are the crazy people you see running, right? So about last week, a lot of them would start to taper down, which means they hit their mileage. They run about 20 in one day on a Saturday, and they start to slowly back off. They get ready to go run that race on Monday. How far is 26.2 miles? That's a long way. That's a long way. We walk out of here right now, we stretch out, lace up our shoes, and we hit the road running. When you get to Quincy Market, you run 26 miles. That's a long way. 26 miles. That's the Linfield Marketplace. If you leave here right now and run to the Linfield Marketplace, go to Lululemon, get some equipment, and you run back. When you get here, you still owe me 40 laps on the track until you can make 26 miles. That's a hell of a distance. Right? These people, they do it. They're crazy. They get set up. Here's the leaders from that race that year. These guys are some of the best athletes in the world. They get out there and they run, right? But the Boston Marathon, to me, is about people like this. This is Lucas Carr. He's a former Army Ranger. He's now currently a Boston firefighter. And he's pushing Matt Brown. Matt Brown was a fantastic hockey player in Lower High. He suffered a spinal cord injury, unfortunately, while he was on the ice. He was also playing for a Handy junior team. He had aspirations of playing in the bigs. He wanted to go to the NHL. Unfortunately, Matt can't walk. Lucas has pushed him in, I think, 5 or 6 different marathons. And this kid is a true inspiration to anybody that's ever met him. Lucas is a fantastic individual. We actually share the same birthday and we've become close over the years. So Lucas's spirit is instilled in other people. You see guys in the military, they're out there running. Before, years ago, they used to run with packs. And they'd carry all their gear, and they'd run the 26 miles. They would start in the morning at 5 a.m. because it took them a while because they were lugging so much gear. They do it in their boots, and their full equipment, and all those, the BDUs and everything else. Who's that guy on the right? Anybody know the white team? He's scheduled to come here and talk to you guys. Okay? This is the last turn as you're coming down Boylston Street towards the finish line. Come up Hereford Street, take a left on Boylston, and you finish. I can just show you the masses of people. These two gentlemen on the left and right, they trained just as hard as the guy in the middle. And they weren't worried about personal bests. They weren't about anything. They just picked up a stranger and carried him to the finish line. If you've ever had the opportunity to go to this race and stand on Boylston Street, you'll see this all day long. People who are sacrificing everything that they've worked for. Because everyone's got a time. These people are crazy. They've been talking about this race for a year. I gotta beat this time, I gotta beat this time. They stop and do anything they can to help out a person. It's a total complete strain. This guy, muscle cramps, fatigue, he's doing everything to get to his goal, and they're gonna help him get it. And that's what it's like. I thought this picture was perfect. This girl's been training for a year in some harsh conditions, and here she is crossing the finish line. Stoked, she's ready. Right? And that's what it's about. So let's go to April 15th, 2013, Marathon Monday. I did the same thing I've been doing on Marathon Monday for the last 10 years. I woke up, I took a shower, I got dressed, I jumped on the commuter rail in Beverly, and I took the train straight to Boston. This year was a little different. A friend of mine who I hadn't seen in years, I played high school baseball with him, Danny Marshall from Danvers. He's a decent third baseman. Great kid though. He comes walking down, and this Danny. He's like, JC, what's up? Give him a high five. He's like, hey, I'm going to the Atlantic Fish Company. Never heard of the place. He's like, it's on Boylston Street, right there, by the finish line. He's like, they got an outdoor patio. We're going to go out there. We're going to get together with some family and friends. Why don't you join us down there? Absolutely. I get off the train. I come walking down the hill, and you're looking at Atlantic Fish. I can see him. He's got a bald head like me. He's standing on the patio. He's got like 6 or 8 family and friends with him. I jumped right in. Unfortunately, April 15, 2013 was also the year that we had the Boston Marathon explosions. As you can see here, this is the second model of the white hat. It's a pretty famous picture. A lot of people have seen it. This was taken from a surveillance camera across the street of Lord and Taylor. The young boy with the circle around his head is Mark Richard. His little sister Janice to the left. Their father is standing directly behind them in the little circle. And there's me, about 15 feet from the Richard family. I'm just standing in Atlantic Fish with family and friends, hanging out like everybody else, enjoying a 60-degree day, some sunshine, some clouds, and we're just hanging out. There I am, standing next to a planter. I'll explain what that's all about later. And as you can see, here's the first bomber that's walking by. I have no idea he's coming, neither does anybody else. We have no idea about 20 minutes later what's going to happen. He comes strolling on down Boylston Street. Everybody there is cheering and celebrating and doing everything we're doing in spirit for these people who are coming up and working their tail off. To stand there and cheer on these runners is one of the best feelings in the world. And here comes his brother. He parks up right next to us. I have no idea he's there. He parks his backpack right behind the Richard family. And he just posts up and waits for a phone call. That's a scene from Patriots there. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the movie. Okay. I grabbed that footage because I felt it captured the moment pretty well. Hollywood sometimes gets it right, and I think they did a pretty good job there. My view from 200 yards down Boylston Street looks something like this. This is still footage from the Forum, and everyone shakes as we heard the first explosion. I'm on the phone with my brother who's on his way to Boston, because the Boston Bruins were playing that night and he had playoff tickets. He was coming down to meet me, and I'm giving him directions on how to get there. And that was the scene. So I'm 15 feet from that. I'm just standing there enjoying myself, just like everybody else in that entire area. We're there to celebrate the hard work of all these people and the achievement of everybody coming down the finish line. So as you can see, this is about a split second before the explosion takes place. I'm on the phone with my brother, so my phone is up to my right ear. My left ear is facing the explosion. The Richard family is on the left-hand side of this circle. That's their father. And the terrorist is on his way out the door. He was the only one in the place that knew what happened. As soon as that happened, as soon as the first one hit, he was walking away. He was already making feet. He was gone. And everyone else's attention is focused down the street. I'm on the phone with my brother at this point. And the explosion happens. What I didn't realize is I took my phone that was open, it was an open line, and I just put it in my back pocket. And it was live. He could hear everything. So he was sitting at the Heart in Boston, screaming at the bartender to put the TV, put the race on, put the race on. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. No one's watching the race anymore. He puts the race on, and my brother's now listening to an open microphone basically the next 5 minutes of my life. That smoke cloud, it filled your lungs, filled your eyes. It totally encompassed where we were. I couldn't see anything, I couldn't hear anything. Picture like the loudest ping ever. It just took you away, took your breath away. Couldn't see, sulfur just literally filled your mouth. That flame, it didn't burn me, but I had like a sunburn on my face because it was so close. It lit the tree on fire that was under, and then it was pandemonium, to be honest with you. That's the Forum restaurant on the right. The left, you can see me, I'm kind of on top of next to a high-top table. I covered two people that I was with, and eventually I transitioned into a little alcove between the two restaurants underneath that light above that circle. There's a planter there, that planter that I talked to you about. That's what kept me upright. If it wasn't for that planter, I'd be in a lot worse shape. Like some of these people. The good thing about these people is this gentleman right here with no shirt on, he just finished the race. I've met him, I've talked to him a bunch of times. He's a stand-up individual. He just finished the race. He turned around, he ran right into it, he started helping people. And if it wasn't for the action of him and so many others, we would have a lot worse situation going on in Boston that day. The other thing we had to learn is Boston, right? They picked the wrong city. Boston, what's in Boston? The best hospitals in the world. What's at the finish line? Some of the best medical staff around. Everybody was there waiting. Everybody kicked in to help out. There's a picture of Jane Richard with her dad and their oldest brother, Henry. There's a middle son, Martin Richard, who passed away that day, 8 years old. Jane was 6. At this point, Dad had picked up Jane and carried her away from her brother, because he knew what was going on. He knew the fate, he knew just the impact it would have. He wanted to separate her from that situation. Unfortunately, she was in really bad shape. So when the dust settled, I transitioned the two women I was in into the restaurant, and I made my way into the street. That planter kept me upright. Everybody on the other side of that planter was on the ground. It was a really bad situation, but the blast, the debris never came up more than knee height. So a lot of people got hurt in their lower legs, including Jane. She was standing right next to the back. My phone's still on, my brother can hear me, and I'm telling him that this kid's hurt. Or he can hear me saying that this kid's hurt. I hopped the barricade and went right into the street. The interesting part about this is too that, like I said, I was on Coumadin. I was on a blood thinner. If I had gotten hit, there's no chance I'd be standing here in front of you today, I promise you that. Right. Made my way into the street. I met a gentleman named Matt Patterson. He was an off-duty limb firefighter, and he was in Avon Louis. So Avon Louis in Atlantic Fish Company, right next door to each other. There's a restaurant that sells $50 tickets. Okay? These are two nice places, right in the city of Boston. And here we are in like a third world country, about 2 seconds, triaging people. At this point, I'm not a cop. I have very limited medical experience. We just kind of kicked into action. We didn't know what to do. Matt, fortunately, was a medic in the Army. He's yelling to me, give me a belt. I took my belt off and I wrapped it around Jane's leg. He told me to squeeze it as tight as I could. We created a tourniquet. Jane had lost her leg from just below her knee down. She was 6. She was strong as an ox. She was hardly crying. She was in shock. But she was strong and she was tough. And she inspired us to help her, I promise you that. Her dad was there. Older brother was there. I said to the father, follow me, we're going to go. We picked her up and Matt said, we're going to move right now. We started running down Boylston 32 ambulance because they stopped everybody further up. They were concerned about a third or maybe even a fourth explosion. We got Jane up the street. Fortunately, we were able to pass her off to medical staff. Medical staff quickly transitioned to an ambulance. They were off and running. When we got there, I said to the dad, I'll stay with your oldest son. You say goodbye to Jane. You do what you need to do. I checked Henry for injuries. I rolled up his pants. Like, he looked like he got shot by a BB gun like 6 times in the leg. There's no broken skin, like 1 pound. Little bruises. He was doing great. Emotionally he wasn't, but physically he was in great shape considering all the tragedy and all the stuff that was going on. Then I went back to the epicenter of the blast. That's where I found Martin Richard. We attempted CPR. We did everything we could, and unfortunately he passed that day. There was 3 people that passed on the street, 2 at this explosion site, 1 at the first explosion site. All right, this is just kind of like the aftermath. I'm here to share the story with you because it's changed my life forever. I could have chosen to duck my head, stick it in the sand, and call it a day. I promise you, a lot of people that experience what we experienced have done that. Other people, like Lucas Carr, who also that day ran in the street to help people. He busted his butt and he became a fireman. He had aspirations to do it, things got in his way, and that's kind of how it went. I just went back and I followed my doctors. I got 4th, 5th, 6th opinions, and I'm like, I'm coming off this medication. There's no chance I'm going to live through this and not be a cop. No chance. This is my buddy Jane. I don't have a close personal relationship with the family. That's the way they want it. I've expressed my feelings to them. I said, hey, listen, if she ever wants to know who I am, I'm here for you. And if not, I totally understand that too. She was 6 years old, right? She's doing great. She's doing amazing. She's learned how to skateboard. She's learned how to do a lot of things that kids, 20 years ago wouldn't have been able to do. This is like an honest rendering of the shoes I was wearing that day. I docked them up a little bit with a pen, and I went back. As soon as the streets opened in Boylston, as soon as everything was done, I was on my way back in there. I had to go there. I had to overcome that. I had to come over that anxiety and fear. I took my shoes. I wrote them up. JR is Jane Richard on the front, Martin Richard, and then Henry was on the other side. I tied them up and I left them on the monument that developed naturally on Boylston Street. Those shoes were taken for whatever reason. They selected those. There's a bunch of them. It was put in memorial and shown in Boston Public Library, and they sit somewhere. I believe they're going to be in a museum today. I was honored at the Boston Celtics as a Hero Among Us recipient with Matt Patterson from the Lynn Fire Department. It was a very special occasion. It was Game 6 against the Knicks. I'm a huge Celtics fan. I walked down to the center court at Boston Garden in the parquet and watched thousands of people, applaud us. It was a little small moment, right? After one of the worst days of my life, here I am 2 weeks later, going through this. I was so appreciative for that opportunity. Met some really good people through that. You guys have asked me about my tattoo 1,000 times. Kids go, oh, hey, what's this? What's that? Right? My tattoo is inspired from my events in America. Inc. magazine did a feature on it. 2015, there's a picture of my tattoo with a guardian angel that was overlooking me and so many other people that day. There's 3 angels, 3 doves that represent Martin, Jane, and Henry Richard, also represent the 3 people that passed that day. And there's the skyline of Boston. The street signs is Hereford and Boylston. That's the last corner. Down Hereford, left on Boylston, to finish up the race. The inscription on the inside of my arm, acts of terror designed to scare us into changing our daily routines. He wants to rethink our travel plans, second-guess decisions once made without hesitation, and ruin our spirit. We will not wait when we are strong. I wrote this like 2 days after the marathon. I was kind of, just kind of trying to put my thoughts and words and feeling, and put my thoughts and feelings into words, and that's kind of what came up. Jim Galvano, if anybody follows ESPN, he's a great basketball coach, especially at NC State. This is one of his quotes: "Don't give up. Don't ever give up." That's my message to you too, along the way with all this other stuff we're here to talk about today. But just don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. And here I am, August 2016. It took me forever to get on the police department. I was on that list for about 12 years. 12 years. Fortunately, I'm able to stand in front of you now as a police officer and say, I made it. And I'm telling you, I promise you, if it wasn't for this moment, this life-changing moment, there's a chance I just would have stuck with him. Somebody told me, you can't do it. You can't do it because of this man, you can't do it because of this. And we fought. And I pushed, and I battled. There's a chief in the back of the room here that I was fortunate enough to have my back through this process, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if this opportunity would be here either.
Leo's the best thing that's ever happened to Amber, my wife, and I. He's my rock. I believe in him so much, and every moment I get to spend with him is it's magic. Amber was running the Boston Marathon, and Leo and I went to the finish line to watch her. We happened to be in front of the Forum restaurant when the second bomb detonated. The only thing I cared about was Leo. Was he okay? I checked on him. He was conscious. That's when I realized I couldn't move. A Good Samaritan came to me and asked if he could help us. I had to just put my trust in him, complete stranger, to take my child out of there because there was nothing I could do. I mean, Amber, she had to make her way back to the finish line. And she spent about 2.5 hours trying to find the two of us. She found Leo first, and then found me. She said, Leo, he's fine, he's alive, he's fine. He's at Children's Hospital. And after that, I was like, I don't care. Everything's, whatever happens next, that's fine, because he's alive. Leo and I like to do just about everything. Skiing, fishing. There were moments I thought I wouldn't be able to share, these activities with my son. Exercise has just been a continual confidence builder. Over the past 5 years, I've really become passionate about biking. I like everything about riding. It's basically freedom. It's just a good way to go blow off steam. I had a lot of really good mentors. Some of them were wounded veterans. They really taught me to get to a place like this, you kind of have a gift. You can't just keep that. It's best to give it away to someone else. About 3 years ago, I started volunteering for the Spalding Adaptive Sports Program. I gained a lot of perspective on what my abilities could be. I was skiing with this father and son, skied with them all day this particular afternoon, and at the end of the day, on the bus ride home, the participant said to his dad, he said, Dad, thanks for taking me skiing. I had a really great day. And that just made my year right there. And that's what it's all about. We've been through a lot over the past 5 years. Battled through learning to walk again, PTSD, depression. Where did 5 years go? But I know where it's gone. It's gone to living. I mean, we're living our lives. To see Leo be a happy, normal kid, it's not magic, but it almost seems like it. Leo's my biggest hero. That experience from April 15th, the bombing, will always be there, but we've moved on from it, and to come through the other side, it's pretty remarkable.
anxiety, all those things. I talk to kids who I've worked with since I was a kid about these things, anxiety attacks, panic disorders, and all these things. I used to sit in an office and talk to kids about it because of books I read or trainings I attended. I had no idea what anxiety was until I started to experience it for myself. Getting back into the city was anxiety provoking. Walking through the city, coming back to Boylston Street, we went up Newbury, and the trash truck flipped a dumpster. I almost lost it. All right. I went back to school. I had a week off, fortunately, but I went right back to work. I gotta get back to work. I gotta do this. I gotta put my shoes. I gotta get going. I can't do this. I can't sit home and feel sorry for myself. It was a terrible event, but I gotta get going. And I went. I got going, and it was tough. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was a mess. I looked out on the outside. If you didn't know I was hurt, you probably wouldn't have known it. But it was tough. I promise you that. As Charlie Brown, the wise man, once said, asking for help isn't weak. It's a great example of how to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself. If I didn't go to therapy and sit down and do the work I needed to do, I wouldn't be functioning. I never would have got to where I am. I never would have been able to put those thoughts in places that needed to be in file one way so I could be successful. I could even just eat and sleep. It took me a while. I promise I did. But this is my message to you, especially to the guys in the room. If I was a 17-year-old you and some kid was standing in front of me saying, hey, if things are sucky, if things are hurting you, you're struggling inside, go talk to someone. I'd laugh at you too. You know? There's a stigma out there that therapy is for the weak. I want to talk to somebody about what you've got going on inside. Now we don't do that. We're guys. We got this. I promise you, I tried it and I didn't have it. I didn't have it at all. And it doesn't have to be something as extreme as this. It can be something as typical or normal as it feels to be a high school kid going through some stuff. It happens to all of us. We've all been through it. I can promise you. If you don't have a relationship with your mom or your dad or somebody at home, you got to find a relationship with somebody that you can talk to. It doesn't have to be professional at first. It could be a good friend, but find a trusting adult. I promise you, I work with 400 of them in this building. It doesn't take me long to go around and meet these people, and some of them I don't really even know yet. But not everybody gets an education for the paycheck. I promise you that. They're here because they care. All right? So allow the staff here, let them in, trust them, okay? And find one person in this building you can turn to. And if you don't have that one person here, make sure you've got someone in your life who can. If you ever want to talk, like I've told every kid here, my door is always open. This brings up One Boston Day, which is the foundation of what this week is all about. I came to this conclusion, in my head, I'm like, I gotta do something, I wanna give back. I've talked to other groups, I've talked to hospitalization settings, I've been in a bunch of different places to talk about my story and how it impacted me and what it means. I'm privileged to be here in front of you today to tell you about One Boston Day. It's a day of giving back, it's a day of being kind. It happens to fall this year on Marathon Monday, a week from today. We would celebrate it then, but we wouldn't be here. So we figured, putting this all together over the last however many months, I've been sitting with Ms. Donnelly, explaining to her what my head was doing, trying to get my thoughts on the paper so I could try to explain this with some understanding to other people in the room about what I wanted to do and how we wanted to be here. I've had the fortunate privilege of working with a lot of good people in this building to help me get to this place. So we have a pretty good week in store. This is what One Boston Day is all about.
On April 15, 2013,
Our community was visited by a horrible tragedy.
But in the aftermath of the day's events,
Our city came together.
And became even stronger.
2 years after that awful Monday,
we celebrated the first annual
One Boston Day.
A day that inspired countless acts of kindness.
Big and small.
Students in the South End made cards.
Thanking local police departments.
the Bruins delivered pizzas to neighborhood firehouses.
the message of One Boston Day
Spread to every corner of the city. And all across the country, all the way to the White House.
In good times and in bad.
Boston has shown time and time again.
We unite as one. No challenge is too tough to overcome.
This year, on April 15th,
We will again come together and show the world
What makes Boston the amazing city it is?
It's people. It's people.
It's people.
It's people.
It's people.
you. It's people.
Whether participating in the community service project, donating blood, or just giving up your seat on the tee.
Join us.
As we celebrate our community on One Boston Day.
And remember, Boston owns the finish line.
So it's simple. It really is, truly. You just gotta be good to each other. Just be kind. Not just for this week or next Monday, but every day. This is just to bring awareness to it, just to kind of like, hey, let's look at each other and say, what can we do? All right? So I'm challenging you. I'm challenging every kid in this building, every staff in this building to make a difference in the next week. And hopefully we can build on that. It goes back to school culture. Where do you want to go to school? Who do you want to be in class with? Right? I've seen a lot of terrible things go down since Thanksgiving when I showed up in this building. And it's all because you guys aren't taking care of each other. I promise you that. All right? So how can you do it? What can you do? Can you show us your support? Social media is everywhere. Take a look, right? We need your support. And I want to know what you guys are doing for the rest of this week and moving forward. What are you going to do to help each other? How can you show us? Use these 2 hashtags. You see somebody doing something cool in school? Take a picture of it, throw up that hashtag. We got a lot of events planned for the week. You're going to be seeing this everywhere, okay? At the end of this, we got all these beautiful TV monitors in the school, correct? We're going to link some of the things up here, and you're going to see what your classmates are doing. We're going to follow this hashtag, and those pictures will be shown throughout the entire school, so when you're walking around, you can see what people are up to. What can you do? Random acts of kindness. That's what One Boston Day is all about. It's about doing something for somebody else. It's kind. Helping each other. I promise you, this is an easy one. We can all do it right now. Call your grandparents. Pick up the phone and call your grandparents. When's the last time you talked to them? If they're still alive. If they're not, pick up the phone and call a relative who you love, who you haven't told you love them in a long time. That's simple. I challenge you to call your grandparents. That's it. Can you smile? How many people I walk by in the hallways and they don't smile back? I smile all day. All I do is smile. Smile back at me. I don't care if you say hi. I'll say hi. I promise you that. Just smile back and laugh. Laughing feels good. All right? Laugh with a buddy. Have some fun with it. Say thank you. Say thank you. Personally say thank you. Face to face say thank you. Write it down. Write a thank you card. Right? Hey, I thank you. I appreciate it. All right? I got you, right? How about at the house? Do something at the house without even being asked. I promise you, if you're anything like I was when I was in high school, my mom had to ask me 73 times to do anything. Anything. Right? Hindsight's 20/20. I apologize, I love you. Right? But do something at the house. Take out the trash, do whatever, and walk by it. You can drop cookies off of the station, I guess. We'll take cookies. Make something for a neighbor. Make something for a friend, a teacher. Do something. Do something kind to someone. It's a simple gesture. They go a long way. Hold that door. Hold the door for somebody. You know somebody's coming? It's a simple, simple, simple gesture. All I'm doing here is, like I told you, it's not earth-shattering stuff. This isn't brand new, like, oh my God, Officer Chase told us all this crazy stuff. Hold the door. No. It's just making you aware, like, think of these things. The most important one on this entire slide is this right here. Instagram, social media. This, my friends, is the worst thing we deal with here, as far as I'm concerned, when it's related to kindness. You guys do not take care of each other on the internet. I've seen some hurtful things spewed from one person to the next and back and forth again. If I can do anything, and you guys can do anything for me this week, before you send it, just think about it, just for 1 second. How's it going to impact everybody? How's it going to impact that one person or anybody? If you can do anything for a week, even a day, change the way you post on social media about somebody. Just hold it off for like 1 day. Just give me 1 day to breathe. It'll feel good. You guys just deserve that. Your friends deserve that. You know, the people in the school deserve that. Social media, guys, can be used for so many good things. On the other side, you know, we want to clean that up a little bit, all right? This is what we got. This little box is in my office right now called the hot box. We talk about gossip all the time. We're always gossiping about each other. He said this, she said that. What happened here? What's this? What's that? 99% of that stuff's nonsense. It's false. Right? It's assumptions and all of a sudden become truth because 3 people get it, grows legs, and here we go again, right? The hot box is your opportunity to spread gossip. What kind of gossip are we talking about? Third-party compliments. So if I have something nice I want to say about somebody, and I want to say it to their face, or if I want to say it to them, they're going to know. That box is going to be in the main lobby. On the right-hand side, there's little sheets there. You can fill it out real quick with your name and whoever you want to send it to, and drop the compliment in the box. The following day, I'm going to call that person down to the office. We're going to videotape them reading the compliment about themselves, which is different though. But it'll be a positive experience, I can tell you. I promise you, nobody in this room has probably stood there on camera and had to read something awesome about themselves that a friend, a teacher, a classmate, whoever had to say about them. Right? So take this opportunity to take care of each other. And if there's somebody you want to say thank you to, it could be a staff or a student. Stay with me, stay with me. This is an opportunity to do it. There's a QR code also on the box. You'll see them around school. You guys know how to use a QR code? I'll explain that to you. Okay? Also, at the bottom, you see an email address. Everyone see the email address? Hawkbox@sixtech.net. You can send an email. I have access to that email account. Those compliments will come to me. I'll organize it. I'll make sure that we get those kids down there. If you get a problem and you don't want to be on video, obviously I'm not going to force you to read about it. I just think it'll be a good opportunity. We got a banks booth. It's kind of like a photo booth, just a little different. All right, it'll be your opportunity to walk into the green room at DVC during lunchtime and give me like a 20-second thank you to somebody that you care about. Just bring their email address. We'll get that information immediately sent over to them, so they get a video of you saying thank you. All right, it's simple. It's simple. It's just an opportunity to say thank you to anybody you want and just pay it forward, right? This T-shirt I'm rocking is a sale, $10. All right, you can give it to the bakery, the main office, or the store. Okay, and all proceeds are going to go benefit the Martin Richard Charitable Foundation, Team MRA. MRA, guys, stay with me. We're almost done. MRA is a great foundation. I'll tell you about them in a second. Thank you cards. There'll be thank you cards available every single month. Okay, you walk by, talk to the staff at the desk. They'll have thank you cards there for you. Take one, fill it out, kick it to a friend. Team MRA, this is what they do. They're a huge race team right now, but that's only one thing they do. They use that as a means to raise funds, okay? And they developed the Water Right Challenger Sports. So this is Jane's family, the little girl that I helped. In honor of her brother, they started these sports leagues. So she plays softball with other kids that have disabilities. They also give back. They give back money to education. They're huge in and around Boston. They have a kindness library, books full of kindness that they can send out to other schools. All right? They build with 700 volunteers, it says up there. They raise thousands and thousands of dollars. And in the months after the marathon, the 9 people I was with that day on Boylston Street got together, and we threw a fundraiser ourselves. We raised $74,000 for the Damersport Yacht Club. We kicked all that money to this foundation to help out. Anybody in this room responsible for kindness rocks? Perfect. If you see these rocks around the school, this means classroom, we started painting kindness rocks last week. Okay? They're here. You'll see them. I saw one in the hallway today. They're going to be sprinkled around the community in the school. They'll be outside, inside, wherever you find them. Take a look. Guys, stay with me, please. This is on the base of the Park Holiday Home. One of the best things I've ever seen in any high school ever. If you don't know what it is, right? These kids in this room and all the kids in the school get tons of donations. They bring in tons of stuff and fill this gym with gifts and give them all the kids in DCF custody. All the kids that need a little bit extra around the holidays. I've never seen anything like it, guys. I've been in education a long time. I've never, ever seen anything like what you guys do. This is on the heels of that. I got an email last week from the Martin Richard Charitable Foundation after I told them what we were doing here, and they mentioned this to me. They're going to have drop-off sites all around the Boston area. They're working with this company, Wonder Fund. And what they're doing is they're working with kids that are immediately like respite care, like kids really struggling tonight. A kid goes in, there's a problem at home, and he can't go home tonight for whatever reason. So he or she has to go to like a respite foster care for the evening. They're asking for donations. And I told them we can help. I've seen what you guys have done, right? I've seen what you've done around the holidays. I've seen what we've done. We need stuffed animals. We need night lights and earbuds. Those are the 3 things that they've asked us for. There's a drop-off box in the main office, okay? And if we can get any of these things, I've been a Five Below, you can see these, earbuds are everywhere. So think about a little kid who doesn't have much and getting out, and these are the 3 items that they're targeting right now. Get a little kid a night light, maybe a stuffed animal. Miss Skane's already got a connection, with Damage Police and everybody else, and they kicked in already 25 stuffed animals to start. I want to see us fill that box as fast as we can, okay? Thursday, seniors in the room. Who are my seniors? If you're interested as a senior in school, to get out to an elementary school, we've already partnered with Dammers. We've got an elementary school in Gloucester, one in Middleton. We're going to be busing kids out to these schools to read to the elementary school kids. We're targeting kindergarten, 1st and 2nd graders. All right? We're looking to get about 60 kids out of the building on Thursday to go read to these kids to give back. All right? We're working with the libraries locally in Middleton and Dammers, the Beauty Institute, and they're already right now pulling books aside for kindness that are appropriate for those age groups. So when we bus you out to those schools, you'll go with a couple staff, and you guys will be inserted into the classroom. And I promise you, when you walk in with your Essex Tech gear and a partner, and you guys have a book to read to a kindergarten classroom, those kids are going to be over the moon. They're going to talk about it for the next 3 days at home with their parents. Okay? So if you're interested in doing that, the one thing I ask you is you shoot me an email directly. mchase@Essex. All right? If you don't send me an email by noon tomorrow, sorry. All right? If you do send it to me, and we haven't, we're looking to get maybe 60, 70 kids out of the building. If we don't, and we have too many, we're going to have to figure out a way to do that. I hope I get like 200 games. All right? My inbox will be flooded, but I'm working. You guys are working. Okay. So this is Initiative Friday's Day of Silence. I think we know what this is all about, okay? So this is the National Day of Silence, all about understanding. It's about kindness, it's about awareness. In the U.S., this Day of Silence is an annual action to spread awareness about the effects of bullying and harassment of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning students. Students take the day-long vow of silence to symbolically represent the silencing of LGBTQ students. There's been an initiative here. We've been signing up in the CAF like the last 2 weeks. You can sign up with those students until April 11th. That's when the silence closes. If for whatever reason on the day of Friday you decide you want to get involved, they're not going to shut you down. Go by and grab sorry, my computer's doing that. Go by and grab a ribbon and get involved. Okay? It's all about being supportive. Supporting is something that's different to you. If you don't feel comfortable, right? Talk to somebody. Get to know each other. Be kind. That's what it's all about. Friday's picture day. Any picture day. What does that mean? Not school pictures, right? But everybody in the school, staff and students, we're going to go to the stadium in the morning on Friday. All right? We're going to get all 14 strong, right? 1,400 of us. We're going to put us out on the stadium, and we're going to fly that little drone that Mr. Marino has up into the air, and we're going to take a picture. We're going to spell something out in the stadium, and that'll be there for, at the end. And I'll tell you what's going on with that on Friday. We'll take a beautiful picture. We're going to put that up on a canvas. We'll hang it in the school, and that will stay here forever. Okay? So 2 more things, and we'll get you out of here, I promise. Okay? I'd be remiss if I can say thank you. There's a lot of thank yous in this room, starting with the staff. All right? Like I said to you, I'm fortunate to be here. Very, very fortunate to be here. I work with a lot of great people. You guys are fortunate. There's students in this building with a lot of great people. Ms. Donnelly has had my back from the moment I brought this idea to her. Not only she had my back, but she's been instrumental in making sure this all comes together. I need to thank her. I need to thank Ms. Skane, Mrs. Spruance, Mr. Marino. They were huge in all of this. Okay? When you guys walked in the building this morning, you came through the main entrance, you saw those post-it notes. Those post-it notes were put together by some students, some staff staying after school, the student ministry group did them, okay? And then we had the girls softball team volunteer their time on Friday afternoon, so when you walk in here on Monday morning, the lobby looked the way it did. I wanted to thank you especially the girls softball team, but any staff or student that kicked in to make sure that that place looked the way it did. Two signs were made by the DVC program here at the school. These things are made in-house, it's incredible. The one on the right, it's a good opportunity. We're going to have that posted out at lunch. It's going to be an availability, it's going to be there. We're going to have Sharpies, and you guys can sign, leave a little well wish, do whatever you want, okay? Just make sure it's appropriate without saying that. And we're going to take an opportunity during lunch each day until Friday. You can scribble a little note down there and do what you want, okay? Say thank you or whatever. And we'll take that. Right? And then we'll take that. That banner's going to hang in the school until next April when we do this all over again. We'll come back. We'll have it all over again. I'm going to remind you guys what it's all about to take care of each other. Okay? I think it comes down to what are you going to leave as a legacy at some point in your life, right? You won't be here anymore. I won't be here anymore. That's what it's going to be about. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be about the money you made. It's about the impact you had on people. What did you do for people? What did you do for the kids sitting next to you? When you look back, if you haven't seen anybody, you go off to college. You come back 6 years later, right? 6 years? Sometimes it takes 12. You know? Who's that, deaf? So what's going to happen is you come back, right? You haven't seen anybody 6, 8, 10, 12 years. You come back, move away, you go home, and someone's going to say, hey, what kind of legacy? Who is this person? Who is this kid? If you know, what did you do for someone? What did you do for the kid in high school? What was the social media post you left? What kind of comment did you leave? You guys know about the tip line here. People send anonymous tips through the tip line. Those things get forwarded to me and a few other staff in the building. All right? I was aware of some of the stuff that was going on in the school because kids shared some things with us, and I had access to some certain pages. And kids came in and said, you need to see this stuff. Kids aren't happy when people treat each other like garbage. Kid shows me that thing, I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh my God, this is brutal. This boy says, you know what, I didn't know. He spoke up online and said, that's all right, I don't like it. He said, stop. I mean, that's paraphrasing, but that was the message that he sent to the whole community in the school. And that's what I'm talking about. So with that, I have one more story to tell you real fast, okay? In terms of legacies and things like that. February 14th of this year, I lost one of my best friends suddenly to a heart attack. 43 years old, he's got 2 kids, beautiful family, guy's got it all. I've only known him 3-4 years, and he became quickly one of my best buddies. This is a guy I would do anything for in the world. And I came to work, and I had no idea that this guy had passed so suddenly, and so this was awful, ripped me apart. For the next week, I met a lot of his friends from the surrounding communities that felt exactly the same way I did about this gentleman. His name's Tim Goldberg. All right? So as I'm preparing for this whole thing, he's with me the entire time. That's all I can think about is Tim. Because all this stuff comes back to him. That's why I love him so much. That's why he was like my dude, right? Tim's unbelievable. When I went to his funeral, there had to be 400 or 500 people in this church. I've never seen this in my life. They gave a standing ovation after they read his buddy get up there. He did the eulogy, and the whole church stood up. That's the legacy you gotta leave. That's who you need to be. You need to be Tim Goldberg. You need to be the guy that nobody else wants to leave, because he left that longing for people. He was so kind, so considerate. He always was present. He would do anything for anybody, no matter what. Find a little bit of Tim in each one of you, right? I challenge you to do that. This is going to be a good week. It's going to be a great week. I just need you guys to buy in and kick in a little bit and take care of each other. If we can do that, hopefully we can build off of that. And in the following weeks, this culture will change. I'm not saying it's bad. It just can only go well. It can only improve. All right. I have one final thank you, and then we'll get you guys loose and figure out the next step. So, I showed you that picture when I was 5 years old. I was a little guy, running around the streets of PV, the mean streets. But I told you my health, unfortunately, it's been instilled in me since I was a little guy. And growing up with my mom, with my dad, my mom has been my rock. She's been fantastic. She's taken care of me since I've been a little guy. She's instilled all those things in me. Doing right by others, being kind, smiling, right? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So I'm going to kick off Kindness Week with a thank you of my own. I want to thank my mom, and she can come up here and get something for her. Mom, I love you.
Thank you everyone for your attention. Thank you, Officer Chase. Can we give him a nice round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you, Danvers Police. I don't think it gets any better than Officer Chase, so we're lucky to have him.